Are you struggling to make rhinestone templates and you don't know where to start? Then this video is for you. So I've had a lot of direct messages lately asking how I created my design for a t-shirt that I made for a customer, which you can find on my TikTok. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a rhinestone template on Silhouette Studio, how I line everything up, how I create an offset layer around my wording, and then split it in half to create the final design. And this is the design that you've all been asking me about. So I will show you how to make this design. So whether you're starting a small business or making custom t-shirts for yourself, or just love anything sparkly, then this tutorial is for you. So make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to share with you some incredible tips. And by the end of this video, you will be able to create your own custom template too. Don't forget as well to join our Facebook group. It is a brand new group, but I'm sure the community will build soon. This group is going to be for you to share your projects that you've made and to help and support one each other on our crafting journey also. I will also pop both links in the description of this video so you can join the Facebook group and you can check out the TikTok as well. So buckle up and let's get into it. So what you were going to do first, you can either write your own text. For my purposes, I am going to use the text that I already have in my folder. So I'm just going to drag that text into my mat and then I am going to resize this text. So I'm just going to place that in the middle, which you can go up the top there and click this icon and it'll just place it perfectly in the center of your drawing area or creating area. So now what I want to do is I need to turn that T in the middle to a rhinestone part of the project. So I am going to right click on this and I am going to release my compound path, which now splits them all up into separate pieces. So I'm just going to take the T up to there, highlight all that again. Make sure I get all the bits. Now make compound path. There we go. So now this is all one piece again and this is separate. So now I've got that T there, a separate piece. I am just going to move that down the other way. We're going to come down to the T and what I want to do now is turn this T into the rhinestone design that I need. So I'm going to click on that letter T. And we're going to go over to the side. Now remember, you're not going to have the rhinestone feature unless you have the business edition of Silhouette Studio. So we're going to click on this icon here, which is going to open up the rhinestone panel. And as you can see, we got different sizes. So I like to use 10SS. Depending on what you use, you choose 6SS, 16SS, 20SS, or you can choose your own size here if you're using something different. So just at the top here, this is no effect. And this is just the outline or the edge. This is the linear fill, and then we got the radial fill. So I like to use personally the linear fill. So I am going to now click on this and it's going to turn that T into a rhinestone project. There we go. So that is done. So you can do your spacing however you like. I like to have my spacing down to 0.020, which gives more rhinestone. What I'm going to do now is release the rhinestones, which you find here, and that is just going to turn every single stone into an individual now instead of being one big thing. So I'm going to just zoom in a slight bit for you, and we are going to just have a look at this. So I don't like these gaps too big here, so what I can do now is click on each individual one and just use my arrow keys just to move some over slightly, just to close up that gap a little bit. So we just move them over till we are happy with the position. And the same here. I'm going to duplicate that one because I am going to pop another one in there. There's enough room for another rhinestone there. Just move these ones over. So yeah, you can play around with this however you like. If you wanted to spread them out more so you can fit another row in or whatever your preference is. But what we don't want to do is change the size. So while you've got this as it is now, you can change the size. So if you was to downsize it or upsize it, it is going to add more rhinestones or take away rhinestones depending on the size. But once you have finished it and you've turned it into a compound path, do not resize it. So now I've got all them as I want them. So now I'm going to highlight everything and I'm going to right click and I am going to group them. So it's back to one piece. Once I have regrouped them, I am then going to right click it and we want to now make this a compound path. Don't worry if this happens when you turn it into a compound path. All we're going to do is go up into the top left hand corner and we are just going to fill the colour back in. I'm just going to use white. Outside line is red, we're just going to turn that off, so it's just the white dots. So now if I zoom out, you can see I've got my letter T done, we've got the main part done for the middle. So now I can highlight all those, and what I'm going to do now is go up here and we are just going to line all them up so we know they're lined up correctly, like so. And we can right click and just group them together. So now when I move this, they're all going to move together. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is bring this one back in and just place that there. Let me just move that. So what we are doing now is creating the offset around the wording. So this is now going to be the top and the bottom of the center wording. So what I'm going to do is click on the text, and then we are going to go to the right hand side panel and we're going to choose the option of open the offset panel. So now we've got two options here. We got the offset and we got the internal offset. So the offset is around the outside of your item and the internal is inside. So we are going to choose offset, and now that has given us a cut line around our item. So what I'm going to do now is check that I'm okay with the distance. If you want to increase the distance away from what you're doing, you just move the arrow up. If you want to bring it in closer to what you've got, then you just bring it down. So I am going to go with that, 0.070. So I'm going to click apply on that one, and then I'm just going to right click, because they're all individual pieces. I'm going to right click and I am going to group them together. So once that is grouped together, I am just going to fill the colour so I can see what I'm doing more easily, and we're going to go with red. So as you can see now, that's created an offset there. So what I want to do now is actually I want to take that, because if I move this, it is all just one block. I want to actually cut the word Montero out of the red offset. So now what I'm going to do is highlight both layers, and I'm going to go over to this panel, which is the modify panel. So we're going to open the modify panel. So what I want to do now, once I'm in the modify panel, is subtract all. So that is going to cut out the top layer from the layer that's underneath it, okay? Whatever piece you want to cut out from the piece underneath, you need to make sure that is on top of the other one, okay? So I'm going to click subtract all. You don't see anything happening, but once you click off it and go down here, as you can see, that's cut that word out of there nicely. So now I'm going to move that because we don't need it anymore. Now what I'm going to do is duplicate this just in case we do anything wrong. And we're going to move that to the side. Oh, I clicked delete by accident. Good job, we got the back feature. Right, so duplicate. There we go. Oh, that's making my eyes go funny. There we go. So we're just going to pop that off to the side. So now we've got this duplicated. I'm going to use the O's just to line them up what I can see looks like the center, because I want to cut right through there. I want to get right in the middle of this text, okay? So I'm happy with that placement there. So now we're going to go over to the left hand side panel and we're going to look for the knife tool, which is this one here. We're going to click on that, and all we're going to do is click on that line, so the 6-inch line, and we're going to drag, hold the mouse down, and I'm going to get it as level as I can and just keep it on that 6-inch line, and then release the mouse. So once that's released, you're going to go back over to the left hand side panel and we're going to go back up to the cursor. So now we got the cursor, we can now move this up like so, and as you can see, that is sliced. I'm just going to go back now because I want to move that all as one piece. So I'm going to highlight those. Make sure you get those pieces in the middle of the R and the O. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to group. So now you can see we've got that. And obviously we need to do that on this one as well because we sliced that one. And we need to group that one. So now that is all one piece as well. So now you've got all that as one piece, we can now choose that and we're going to make it a compound path. Again, don't worry if that happens, you just go back up to the left hand corner and pop the colour back in. We're going to do the same on this one. We're going to make this one a compound path. Again, we're going to pop back up there and we're going to fill that colour back in. So now this is what we have so far. So now what I'm going to do is bring this part back in, and I'm just going to center this by clicking on it, and then if you go up to the top you can see this option here, center to page. I'm going to click on that and it's popped everything in the center. So I'm just going to line that up as best as I can just to get the gaps that I want, and I think that's okay there. So now I'm going to duplicate this one. And we're going to bring one up there, and I'll do the same here, duplicate, and bring that one down here. Just need to move it. Oh, I'll just highlight everything a minute just to move all this up slightly, because remember, we cannot change the size because of the rhinestones. If we change this size, if we make this smaller when we cut the rhinestone template out, the holes are going to be too small for the rhinestones to fit into. So always remember, do not change the size. You need to make sure you got the right size before you convert anything into a rhinestone. Right, so now I'm happy with that. So I'm happy with the spacing. I think actually I could move this one up a slight bit just because the gap here looks a lot wider, because obviously the T's come down a lot further. So I just moved that one up just to make it look a bit more better there. So now what I'm going to do is just click and highlight everything, and we're going to go up to this menu again, and we're just going to click this. So center everything, make sure everything is centered. There we go. So now that has put everything in a center order. You can as well go down to this one, which is going to create, which is going to create a equal gap between all your items. Again, I don't want to do that because I got the longer parts on the T, so I need to keep that as I placed it because that looks better to the eye. And there we go, guys. Congratulations. You have just made a gorgeous template with your rhinestone template in the center as well. Cannot wait to see what you guys come up with, and I hope you enjoyed.